Okay, today I'm going to make another food review, a healthy food review. Here we go. First off, we have Nature Valley granola thins, and they are supposedly healthy, but they are granola, so they do have like 7% of your daily value of saturated fat and 6 grams total fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, only 75 milligrams of sodium, 11 grams carbohydrates, that's 4% of your daily value it says, and less than 1 gram of fiber. 6 grams of sugar and 1 gram of protein, only 2% iron, that's very little. So, and the second ingredient is sugar after the whole grain oats. After the whole grain oats, it's sugar, then vegetable oil, and there's also somewhere among the ingredients high maltose corn syrup. Now that's something I never heard of. I've heard of you know, high fructose corn syrup, but I guess it's just a different type of sugar when it's maltose. Anyway, it has, you know, allergy information too, so we'll go on to the next product. We'll go on to Sunbelt Bakery blueberry granola bars, I guess. Here's what they look like. And these have how many calories? Let's see. 140 calories per one bar, and 25 calories from fat, 3 grams total fat, 1 gram saturated fat, and that's also 5%, as well as the 5% that's the total fat. So saturated fat and total fat are both 5% of your daily value. No trans fat, no cholesterol, 70 milligrams of sodium. Total carbs, 27 grams, 9% of your daily value. And there is 1 gram of fiber, 4% of your daily value. 16 grams of sugar, 1 gram of protein, and then there's a few vitamins here and there. There's 10% of like iron, riboflavin, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't really know, I'm sorry. Vitamin B6, vitamin B12, there's also 10%, and also 10% of vitamin A, thiamine, niacin, folic acid, and there's 25% calcium, which I believe 25% of your daily value is like the better amount that you should have for a good quality product. Anyway, here we move on to raisins. And these, you would think they're healthy, but they have 130 calories for this little tiny box. It's as small as my hand or smaller, and it only has 130 calories, but that's not too bad. But considering they filled the box to the top, yeah, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of calories and a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs, and that's about it for like the raisins. They have 130 calories, they have 34 grams total carbs, oh, and also there's 320 milligrams of potassium in the raisins, in the whole box, and that's 9% of your daily value. And there's 2% calcium, 4% iron, 2% vitamin C, no vitamin A, and there is how much protein? Oh, 1 gram, and 25 grams of sugar. I believe they're natural sugars, because the only ingredient listed here on the raisins is the raisins. That's the only ingredient listed, so there's probably no unnatural things in there. Next we have tomato soup, the store brand, and it has 90 calories per half a cup, and there's 2.5 servings per 1 can, and then it has no calories from fat, but 90 calories total. And no total fat, no saturated fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, 710 milligrams, 30% of your daily value of sodium, 20 grams carbohydrates, 1 gram of fiber, 12 grams of sugar, 2 grams of protein, and 4% vitamin A, 25% vitamin C, and 4% iron. And 2 more products. We have Kellogg's Berry Fiber Plus Antioxidants Berry Yogurt Crunch cereal. And it has a lot. So I won't go over everything. I'll just go over the main things. There's a lot of vitamins in here, including 100% vitamin E, but these have like more calories and more fiber though than the waffles, the big and fluffy, the thick and fluffy waffles here by Eggo. They're thick and fluffy. They're called thick and fluffy, and they have a lot of calories. Well, not too bad. It's like 160 as opposed to the cereal alone in 1 cup of the Fiber Plus cereal, which has 170 calories. So that's 10 more calories per only the cereal, 1 cup of cereal. And 210 calories for the cereal, 1 cup of cereal with half a cup skim milk. That's a lot of calories for 1 cup of cereal and half a cup skim milk. And yeah, there's not too much fat, and there's not any cholesterol, there's not too much sodium, and there's some potassium in the cereal as well, and lots of carbohydrates, lots of fiber, 40% of your daily value, and 4 grams of soluble fiber. Insoluble fiber, there's 6 grams, 12 grams of sugar, 3 grams of protein. And the waffles, as opposed to the cereal, the thick and fluffy Eggo waffles here, they have 160 calories for 1 waffle. 6 grams total fat, 1.5 grams saturated fat, that's 8% of your daily value. No cholesterol, 260 milligrams sodium, 45 milligrams potassium, 23 grams carbohydrates, less than 1 gram of fiber, 7 grams of sugar, 3 grams of protein, and 20 and 25% of lots of vitamins, like calcium, vitamin A, thiamine, folic acid, not folic acid, niacin. There's 8% folic acid and 15% phosphorus, 20% of riboflavin, vitamin B6 and B12, 25% iron, and no vitamin C though. That's the only vitamin there I don't see there. Okay, goodbye. Okay people, I forgot to mention in my healthy food review of this time that in these Sunbelt Bakery blueberry granola-like bars, there's actually, the fruit filling has corn syrup and sugar as the first 2 ingredients for the filling alone. And the third ingredient in the ingredients for the crust in these bars is sugar. And then soybean oil, then dextrose, which I believe is another type of sugar, which isn't good. It's not good to have a lot of sugar. Which these do have a lot of sugar, I believe so, then, because of looking at the ingredients, and I can tell because they say 16 grams of sugar, not milligrams, grams. That's bigger. Thank you. Okay, so I found out that this Fiber Plus cereal has, the second ingredient is also sugar as well. And it's like, you can't, or it's hard to avoid, things that are low in sugar and have only natural things in them. Even if you buy organic stuff, it's still got real, like, everything real, but it's like some things still have sugar in them that are not, sugars that are not natural for some things, that are organic. So, also, the waffles here, the thick and fluffy waffles that I talked about earlier, also they have enriched wheat flour with niacin and reduced iron, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, folic acid, water, egg whites, vegetable oil, sugar. So sugar is not the second ingredient, or the third ingredient, I suppose, in these waffles. That's a better thing than the cereal or the bars that I mentioned. And if you want to go, well, not really organic and not really vegan or vegetarian, but if you just want to eat healthier, then maybe well, you could, but I'm reviewing things that I think are healthy-ish and could not be healthy also in some ways. And, if you want to go really healthy, just stick with fresh fruits and veggies and dried fruits and veggies. And you can still have protein, you know. You can have lean meats of turkey and chicken, and I would say avoid red meats. Just so you people know, I am not a nutritionist. I just know a lot about what's healthy and what's not because I read nutrition labels and all of the ingredients, you know. I'm really cautious about what I eat. And so I try to eat healthy, and occasionally, yes, I do have my downfalls. And I know everyone does, but it's like, how can you avoid sugar? It's in everything. Even fruits and veggies have natural sugars. So yeah, it's hard to avoid sugar. And everything fatty even so, because even vegetables and fruits, to some degree, have a little bit of fat, I believe. If you do your research, you'll find that even some fruits and veggies, like potatoes, they're starchy. And starch is in turn converted to sugar, which in turn is turned into fat. And sort of the same thing with, I believe, carbohydrates too, because they're like a form of sugar. You know how it's in like bread? It's just, bread is not the most healthy thing for you in any form. So, if I were to put together a sandwich, I know I usually put high fiber bread on it, and that's slightly healthier than, you know, white bread or potato bread, but if I were to choose any bread, I would put a high fiber bread, and I think you should choose something that fits you. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe.